Hello and welcome to Myrtle Beach. My name is Justin. I'm the owner of Team 53 and I've partnered with Coach Dave Academy and Impel Motorsports to bring you this week's Learn to Drive video for late model stocks at Myrtle Beach as part of iRacing's 2025 Season 2 Week 7 official series. We're now past the halfway point in the season, so we're going to continue to push on strong here. If you guys are points racing, know that pretty much after week 8 is when drop weeks will start to show up in the point standings if you're running for iRacing official series points. So that'll be kind of cool to see how that shakes out. If you are new to the channel or if you are a reoccurring viewer and you have not already subscribed, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. It does a ton for us. We've grown from 50 subscribers at the beginning of last season, of season one, to I think 650 right around there now. So it's been tremendous. I tell you guys this all the time. I'm a short track racer. I have a late model. Late model's probably parked this year because we lost one of our big sponsors, but my daughter Sydney is starting to race go-karts. So everything you guys can do to help the channel helps me attract new sponsors, hopefully, but it also helps us to be able to get our message out and to help people on iRacing just like you. So if you guys can, or if you're looking to upgrade your sim racing equipment, head over to Impel Motorsports. They are a great group of people. Justin and Angie are wonderful. If you need real race car parts, they sell anything from Inex Bandoleros all the way up to super late model parts. So we'll get you guys there. So let's head out on track for qualifying here. What you're going to do is you're going to tire heat. We talk about this a lot. So it's a gas brake swerve you see here. You got to be really careful right here through the bridge section. So I kind of pause my tire heating through there just to be safe, and then I'll get back on after it. And just tire heat, up until early backstretch, get up through the gears. Lap one's going to be a throwaway lap, so we're not going to worry about that as much. But then lap two is really going to be where the magic happens for us. And that's where we turn probably our fastest lap that I've turned here in a while, which was a 598. So it was a pretty good Q lap for us. So you see we go high here in 3 and 4. What we're trying to do here is to get as much momentum built up for down the front stretch as we possibly can. And if you guys aren't doing this, you are leaving time on the table. If you're a Team 53 member, you can see that in your Garage 61. If you're a Coach Dave Academy subscriber or Coach Dave Delta subscriber, you can see that in the Delta if you look at those. So we come off this corner and we are just going to flat foot it and get as much speed as we can. We are at 112 miles an hour here at the start finish line. Now, setting up turn 1 and 2, this is going to be kind of different from what you guys are used to. It's not really like if you've ever run Rockingham. It's not really like Rockingham. It's not really like how you'd run Richmond. This track is very unique in the sense that we have this curve, this big curve. So what I like to do is I like to bring this car in, and I run a little bit different race line than what I do qualifying line. So I like to straddle this dash line a little bit here as we head down the front stretch. And then I look and I see this second set of dash. And that's where I'm going to start to get my car pitched in. And in qualifying trim, I like to bring my left sides right on that. So we'll see here from the far chase. The left side's kind of right on that. And then I like to arc it down over and carry the right sides on those dash lines. So let me bring it down. You've got to be careful with these turtles here on the inside of the track. So when I learned to drive this track was like NASCAR 98, the BGN, the Busch Grand National expansion pack. And when we learned this track, we didn't have these turtles here. So we would drive down onto the apron, and it was a ton of fun. Well, now on iRacing, we have these turtles, which they had at the end in real life, and it just makes it difficult. You want to get that nose down, and then kind of like when we run Stafford or when we run, I'm trying to think, Stafford mainly is the one that comes to mind, where you drift up a little bit in the center, and it's mostly due to the track straightening out, but you drift up a little bit and then you catch this elbow here, so kind of like Langley, and you're going to bring it through, and you're going to be extremely close to the turtles. I mean, we look at that and we can see we are super close to the turtles. New camera view there for your rear chase. In the cockpit, you can see those turtles look like they are going over that left front tire, but you got to bring it way down. And you can see too, so we start to get on throttle right around that same time. So as you're getting into this little bend here, the double bend here in the corner, that's where you're going to start to give this car throttle. So we get on throttle, and then we're going to go here to far chase, and it's just going to be a hard drive off this corner, and you'll bring it up towards the wall. Myrtle Beach is super easy for me to drive because as I'm coming off the corner, I just know I can kind of follow that dashed line. Now, we head down here to turns 3 and 4. Completely different look than what we saw in 1 and 2, and the way that we're going to drive this is going to be kind of similar. Your goal is there's this little patch of sand that runs right along the wall. And your goal is going to be to get your left front tire as close to that sand as you possibly can. So we head down here into the corner. I'm going to take a wide arc in. So we start out, we're going to cross over the white line here, right here in the center. And this little patch of sand is what we're going to grab with that left front. And then it's just a nice, hard, straight drive off the corner. And we see a 598. So right here about center, about the time that you're going to lose the sand, is really where you're going to start to throttle up. And it looks completely different in the car, right? When you're in the car, in the cockpit, you're going to see this. You're going to be like, all right, I left the sand, right? As soon as that sand leaves your vision, that's where you're going to start to throttle up. And then we just have a nice hard drive off the corner, like we said. So I'm going to go give you guys this car, in-car view of it, and good luck. All right, there was your 598. So not terrible, not too bad. Should be pretty good for a starting point here for the week. I have no doubt that we'll start to see some faster times as the week goes on. But let's head over to race trim. So one thing that we didn't really talk about with Myrtle Beach is going to be race trim. And race trim here is, I mean, it's a little bit more difficult, so to speak, just because one, usually there's not as many people in the splits. These races don't go official as often, so you really kind of have to finesse it, and you're probably going to spend more time testing this week than what you do actually racing. And part of that is, right, I talk to a lot of people and they're like, man, I want to become an iRacing pro. And I'm like, okay, 700 to 1,000 laps a week before you even start a race is what a lot of the pros are doing, if not more. But that's a pretty good baseline number for you. So as you're looking at this, what you'd want to do, you figure a full race run is 80 laps at Myrtle Beach. So you're able to run in, let's say you did 800 laps. That would be 10 full race runs. And within that, you should be able to spend some time looking at tire wear. If I run 40 laps hard, 40 laps as hard as I can at the start, what does that do to my tire wear? What does that do to my lap times? If I run 40 laps really easy, maybe 2/10 off of my fastest lap time, where am I going to be at? Let's say I back it down 3/10. Let's say I run the first 10 laps hard and then I back it down. There's a lot of things that you can try out in those runs, and those are the things that the top drivers are really doing, is they know exactly what their car is going to do in every situation. If I need to push my car hard for 5 laps, this is how it's going to feel. If I need to run my car easy for 25 laps, or if I run 5 laps really hard, I got to back it down. Our race set this week for Team 53 is going to start out first couple laps really loose. But then as you get heat in the tires, it's going to come in a lot tighter. I feel like between this season and last season, we made big improvements on corner entry, just being able to drive in a little bit better. And then shout out to Bob Belshaw last season, who took our Myrtle Beach setup, did some different things with the shocks that really helped us. And I think it's going to be really beneficial this week to have a full week under this setup and to get some more testing under it to kind of get us squared away a little bit better. So the big thing here is just going to be managing those right side tires. It's extremely difficult to pass at Myrtle Beach just because I mean it's a over a half mile track, 0.54 miles. Um, but it's really difficult to be able to say that, you know, you can pass super easy. I find the easiest places for me to pass are going to be entry to one, just out driving someone into the corner. But then two, if you can get to their bumper here, a lot of guys will overdrive the exit of two and it'll cause them to push wide or they'll get loose. And you can just drive underneath them there. If they push wide and hit the wall, leave a little bit extra room, drive right under them. 3 and 4 is another good one. A lot of guys will take a wider arc in. If you're faster than someone, you can drive in underneath them and get through them that way. Or you can take that wide arc, and if somebody takes it really shallow, they'll push out center. You can arc underneath them in center and then hopefully catch them here on the drive off. But you can defend using the top here as well. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to pass. It'll take a few laps to really complete a clean pass, but you can do it. Other than that, I mean, it should be a fun week of racing for you guys at Myrtle Beach, assuming you get some official races. Head over to team53racing.com, sign up for our short track season pass. If you join in our Discord and pay with PayPal, we can get you 50% off for the remainder of the season. Otherwise, best of luck, and we will see you guys in the next video.